My name's Dylan Smith. Today I'm going to be doing my informative speech about serial killers, one specifically. But first, I'd like to start off by asking a question. Um, has everyone heard of serial killers? I'm sure most people have probably heard of one, but has anybody really thought, like, what makes them do what they do? Well, today I'm going to specifically talk about John Wayne Gacy and the things that he dealt with throughout his life to cause him to do what he did. Now, this is not an excuse for what he did, this is just intended to inform you about his life. First, I'd like to start off in his childhood. So, Gacy grew up with a psychopathic, abusive father who let his friends periodically rape Gacy and abuse him. So there was one incident in specific where his friend or his father's friend actually abused him so much that it caused brain damage, and it altered his thinking rationally and while he was interacting with people throughout his whole childhood. Now, the beginning of his crimes. So in 1964, he was found guilty for sodomizing two young boys. He was sentenced to 18 months in prison and was released and then went to Chicago. In Chicago, he founded a construction business, attended church, got remarried, and volunteered as the Democratic precinct captain in his area. His whole community admired him. As you can see, he built up a very good reputation with the people around him and made it seem like he was a great person. Now, he also had an alter ego. He would dress up as a clown and he would call himself Pogo the Clown. He was a part of the Jolly Joker Club. He worked children's parties, charity foundations, and other social events in the area. In July of 1975, two teens disappeared. The police refused to investigate Gacy no matter how much the parents tried to persuade them to. In 1976, Gacy got divorced for the second time. This right here is what we'd call a stressor, something that causes someone to go over the edge. And this caused him, in a span of almost 3 years, to rape and kill 33 young men. So Gacy saw himself as the victim, responsible for misery. He had all this emotion built up from what happened in his childhood with his father's friends, getting divorced the first time, going to jail, come back, resetting his life, and then getting divorced again. There's so much misery inside of him. Before the trial, he was diagnosed with ASPD, which is antisocial personality disorder, and it has been linked to aggressive behavior and criminal activity among many people. He was also diagnosed as a paranoid schizophrenic. So schizophrenia causes people to interpret reality abnormally. So it's not very out of the ordinary for him to be diagnosed with schizophrenia, dealing with hallucinations, delusions, disorderly thinking. Eventually, in the trial, though, he did plead insanity due to the ASPD and schizophrenia. It was denied, and he was found guilty. He was executed in 1994 by lethal injection. So, in conclusion, I'd just like to state that you can't really judge a book by its cover. You can't look at someone and determine who they are, what they are, or why they're doing what they're doing. Gacy had everything. He hid anything in his life. What happened in his childhood, just with his father's friends, with his father, his personal life. He hid it all from the public. So please don't be afraid to help someone get help that needs it. If you have a friend or a family member that's struggling from abuse or schizophrenia, maybe ASPD, don't be afraid to get them help.